Only 3 games were played in round 13 for the under-18s. Glenelg, North Adelaide and Sturt all had the week off. Central District visited the home of the Redlegs and they weren't made to feel welcome at all. The Redlegs kept the Bulldogs scoreless in the first quarter. Norwood midfielder Dan Williamson from the Hope Valley Football Club had a phenomenal 51 disposals. With 20 kicks, 31 handballs and 5 tackles, he had a great day out. Dan also kicked 3 goals won and was named best on ground for the Redlegs. His ability to run and win the contested ball at stoppages was outstanding. Josh Moyle also had a solid game for the Redlegs, playing in defence. His possession count was 30, a fantastic effort for a defender. Josh has a similar story to Dan. He trained with the league team in the pre-season and has played the last 9 rounds in the reserves. Towards the end of the first quarter, Josh ran the length of the ground to score between the posts. You'd usually find him up forward, but on Saturday, Tom Clayton had to take on rucking duties when Blake Penny was injured 15 minutes into the first quarter. It was a significant change to his role, but Tom rucked solidly all day, winning an impressive 45 hit-outs. He was also effective around the ball, winning kicks at stoppages by using his good crumbing skills. For the Bulldogs, captain Bray McConnell was named best on ground. Bray's just come back into the side from the reserves. The 18-year-old from the Metro Zone competed hard all day and went into the ruck late in the game. Another player who's returned from the reserves is overaged Jared Traynor. Jared played through the midfield, taking some strong marks across half-back. The Barossa District's recruit has been with the club since his junior days. In his first game for Central, David Murray took to the level of the under-18 competition immediately. David plays A-grade in Achunga and has been training with the Bulldogs for a couple of weeks. The overager played forward and on the wing. He took the ball inside 50 on 3 occasions and kicked a goal in the second quarter. The Bulldogs ran hard at the ball, but with short controlled kicking, the Redlegs were able to prevent turnovers and remain in possession. They ran out winners by 84 points. In the closest match of the round, the Eagles took on the Magpies at home in a hard-fought contest. Normally a key forward for the Eagles, Tasman Fitzgerald took over the rucking duties after half-time when Joseph Botten went down with an ankle injury late in the second quarter. The Eagles were 19 points down at the long break, struggling to win the footy in the midfield. Tasman from Kyan Carter on the Eyre Peninsula won 24 clearances in the centre, and by three-quarter time the Eagles were up by 4 points. From Kadina, Jack Ellsworthy had a good game for the Eagles across half-back. The rebounding small defender is in his first year as an under-18. He read the play well and was accurate in kicking and tough around the ball. He had a total of 26 disposals. Jack is known as the janitor amongst his teammates because he's always the one to mop up. Also dangerous around the ball is Jackson Press. Jackson attacked the footy with intensity and speed, kicking 3 goals for the match. Jackson's an under-18 from Smosh Westlakes. Paul Ventura is a small-on baller with pace who creates opportunities up forward. Paul had a total of 17 disposals and kicked a goal halfway through the fourth quarter. The under-18 is from the Seaton Ramblers and has come through the Eagles development squad. From Port Districts, 18-year-old Jayden O'Neill was good through the centre and midfield for the Magpies. He's a reliable player who consistently gets stats in the mid to high 20s. Saturday was no exception with 29 disposals. Jayden's played 9 games this season and is regularly listed amongst the best players. Kieran Hollingworth-Hugh is from Whyalla and goes to university in Adelaide. The stats he recorded didn't reflect the hard work he did during the game. The 18-year-old's very athletic and was in good form in the back line and had 6 tackles. 18-year-old Cody Lennett is a hard worker who played effectively on the half-forward flank. Early in the season, Cody struggled to get into the side, but last week he put in a solid performance, racking up 20 disposals and booting 3 goals won for the game. At the first break, the Magpies were up by a point. They had 4 more scoring shots than the Eagles, but couldn't convert. It cost them, and at the final siren, the difference was still only a point, but it was the Eagles in front. In the final match of the short round, West Adelaide took on South Adelaide at Richmond Oval in what began as a close contest. The Panthers started off strong and had their highest scoring first quarter this season. From 5 kicks on goal, they scored 4 majors and were only 1 point down at the break. But Westie snatched a couple quickly in the second to give them a buffer. Instrumental in West Adelaide's healthy scoreline was Macca's Cup MVP Jesse Watchman. Jesse scored 6 goals 3 and was the highest goal scorer in round 13. He's second overall for the season with a total of 24 goals. Jesse's a member of the national under-18 squad and a second-year AIS scholarship holder. The 17-year-old from the Blackwood Football Club has certainly carved himself out a niche playing up forward for West. Rated best on ground for the Bloods was Dylan Mayle. For the last 12 months, Dylan's been out recovering from a full knee reconstruction. This was his 4th game back, and he's played 2 games in the reserves and 2 in the under-18s. Dylan's an overager who showed his dominance on the ground with an impressive 8 tackles to half-time and 13 overall. He also added to the score, kicking 1 goal won. From the half-back line through to half-forward, Kane Cornish played his best game for West Adelaide in round 13. Kane from Lockleys Football Club put his stamp on Sunday's game with effective run and carry skills and long kicking. He scored a goal in the closing stages of the second quarter. Best on ground for South Adelaide was defender Sam Hamilton. Sam put in a solid second half, playing in the back pocket. He's from Noarlunga and has come through the club's development squad. A hamstring injury kept Alex Shaw on the sidelines for 7 weeks, but in his second game back for the Panthers, he demonstrated a return to form. Alex from the Cove Football Club kicked 2 goals and had a total of 28 disposals and 9 marks. He was his team's best clearance player. From Sacred Heart College, 18-year-old Liam Wright was an effective player for South in the midfield. Quick around the ground, Liam was accurate in his kicking and disposal and good at the stoppages. But the Panthers' determination wasn't enough to match the Bloods' form. It was the first time this season Westies have won 2 in a row, and the boys are now keen to make it 3, which will put them back in the 5. West Adelaide over the Panthers by 60 points.